Just trying to get set up, guys. Welcome in, welcome in. How's that for an angle, huh? No, I'm gonna move you back over here. One of these days I'll have this down to a perfect science. And then every class will be, whoa, perfectly framed and perfectly timed. But probably not. Because mindfulness is not about perfection. It is about the process. It is about the practice. It is about showing up for yourself. Not just in big ways, but in the tiny little moments that you need it most. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Tiny Yoga. I took last week off for a family emergency, and we had another family emergency this week, but I'm not taking today off. So we're going to go through the flow, and we may not stay for the shenanigans after. I might need to just go and lay on the earth. So, for those of you who are new here, hello. My name is Reverend Deborah. I am a movement facilitator, movement in breath, body, and being, and I am your shenanigan shaman. Because, honestly, play is a really important piece of this whole coming home to yourself, learning to love yourself. Because fuck, if you can't laugh at yourself, man. If you can't laugh with yourself, you can't laugh with yourself. If you can't laugh with life, if you can't find the little glimmer of a rainbow in the middle of a hailstorm, you're just gonna get pelted by hail. So this is our tiny yoga class. Tiny yoga, is it kids yoga? No. Tiny yoga because we as humans have this experience of being stuck in this finite body, in this itty bitty living space. And sometimes in this finite world, we end up in actual itty bitty living spaces, like tiny homes, like office desks, like the front seat of the car, like RVs, like studio apartments, right? Our life does not always have enough room to roll out a full-size mat and make every single pose long and strong and tall. Sometimes we're a little cramped. And it's in those moments that we most need our tools, that we most need to be able to meet ourselves where we're at. Because if I'm feeling uncomfortable and I can't get up and stretch for a full stretch, I need to find an alternative. I need to modify my practice so that I can meet myself where I'm actually at, instead of expecting myself to deny my reality just to meet my own expectations. My expectation becomes then simply to meet myself where I'm at. So if you have 20-30 minutes to join me for a gentle yoga flow, chair yoga flow. So you don't need a chair specifically, all you need is a place to put your butt. So it can be a park bench, it can be your office chair, it can be your recliner, it can be the edge of your bed. Wherever it is you are in this moment, I invite you to join me. usually give a few minutes for everybody to filter in, so we'll start about 10:10. In the meantime, find yourself a spot to sit. You need a little bit of room to wiggle around. You can extend the legs a little bit. If you're in a car, I find that it's easier to open the car door and turn to the side and do your tiny yoga out the side, or move to the back seat. That also helps. If you're at your desk at work, you can probably do some of these things right there underneath your desk and nobody would even notice. Are you supposed to be watching TikTok at your desk? Are you supposed to be watching YouTube at your desk? I don't know. I don't know the rules of that corporate America. I hide out in the woods and teach yoga online. Okay. I was going to apologize, but I'm not going to apologize. I'm just going to let you guys know that there is a lot happening inside of my heart and inside of my head today. So the pace may be a little different. But just because these things are happening doesn't mean that I should give up on my practice, on my personal practice. And in fact, it is just the opposite. It is when my heart is most heavy. It is when my head is most cloudy. In those moments where I most want to skip my practice, that I need it most. That is how we move ourselves from darkness to light. It's by recognizing that in our darkest moments, we need the light the most. It is in those darkest moments that when we look for the light. That is what leads us out. It's very easy when you're in a dark place to shut your eyes, pull the covers over your head, and just stay there. I know. I've been there. I've done that. I did that for years. But today I choose to find the glimmer of hope. Choose to see the way the sun reflects off the blades of grass, making them a brighter green. Remembering that life only looks dull when it is in shadow, when there is shadow. And the light always returns. But we won't see it returning if we are staring at the darkness. If we are intent on focusing on the darkness. What you water grows. What we give our attention to changes. So, if you got a little bit of time to give your body some attention, find yourself the edge of your seat, wherever you've got your bottom plopped down, and we will begin our practice by planting our feet on the ground. Shoes on, fine. If you want to kick them off, great. Barefoot, fantastic. I invite you to bring all of your awareness. Just rest your hands on your lap and bring all of your awareness into your right big toe. Press your right big toe into the earth just a little bit, into the floor just a little bit. Press it, press it. Now press your left big toe into the ground a little bit. Give it all of your attention, all of your awareness. Hello, left big toe. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Nice to see you, left big toe. Nice to see you, right big toe. Wiggle the rest of your toes on your right foot. Press them into the ground a little bit. Press all 5 toes on your right foot into the ground. Hello, toes. Good morning. Thank you for providing me with balance. Thank you for doing the work of the minor adjustments of balance that the rest of my foot doesn't do. All of your attention, all of your awareness to all 5 toes on your left foot. Press them into the ground, wiggle them around. Hello, left toes. Thank you for keeping me balanced. Thank you for being so cute. Move your awareness to the heel of your right foot. Press the heel of your right foot gently into the ground and release a couple times. Hello, heel. My brain said, thanks for crushing all those cans years ago. I don't know where that came from, but there you go. Bring all of your awareness into the left heel, the heel of your left foot. Press it into the ground and release a couple of times. And think about what your left heel does for you. What does your left heel do for you? Thank it for whatever it does. And if you can't think of anything, just say thanks for whatever you do. Left heel, I'm not sure what you do, but thank you. Whatever it is, it's great. Put all of your awareness in the bottom of both of your feet. Press in your toes, press your heels, wiggle the feet back and forth to press into the bridge of the foot and the outside of the foot, the ball of the foot, the entire foot, pressing into the ground gently, and then release. Now go ahead and close your eyes, and we will begin with 3 deep breaths. Inhale through the nose, pulling the breath through the lungs and all the way into the belly. Sigh it out. Inhale again, lifting the heart and elongating the spine. And let it go. Inhale once more, expanding the ribcage in all directions, front, sides, and back. Hold at the top. Really expanding that ribcage, lots of space within the lungs, and slowly exhale. Then drop your ear. We'll do some neck tilts. Drop your ear to one side, allowing your shoulders to remain relaxed. Just drop your head, ear towards shoulder. You're not trying to touch your actual shoulder with your ear. You don't need to do that. We're just warming up the muscles, tilting the head back and forth, ear to shoulder, ear to shoulder, ear to shoulder. Back to neutral. Chin up with a gentle inhale. Exhale, chin down to the chest. Couple more, chin up and down, chin towards the sky, chin towards the ground. 2 more. Back to neutral. Couple of rotations. So go ahead and drop your chin and rotate your head to one direction a couple of times. Now be gentle here. A lot of us with neck issues tend to kind of lean into that, and we try to get that pop in the neck. That's not necessary. It's not what we're going for here. I don't want you to pop anything. I don't want you to overextend anything. What we're doing is just warming the muscles. So back out a little bit, back off a little bit, right? Let's try that. Come back to neutral. And instead of going really deep into the head rotations, just gently drop your chin, gently roll to one side. See if you can not pop your neck. Mine's gonna crinkle and crackle anyway, but see if you can slowly move in some rotations, just feeling the muscles. No pops, unless they just happen. Switch directions. Hello, neck muscles, good morning. Thanks for holding my head up. And then back to neutral. Again with rotating, go ahead and rotate the shoulders up and back, melting the shoulder blades down the back, then forward and up, back, down, forward, up, back, down. Feel into not just the shoulders, let your elbows hang loose, but also into the shoulder blades, rolling them down your back on that down shoulder roll. That feels so nice. Back to neutral. Bring your shoulders up, but without, again, we're not trying to crunch them up to the ears, right? I don't want to see you like this. lifting the shoulders gently up, forward, down, back. Couple more rotations, rolling the shoulders forward without crunching up the ears. And back to neutral. Place the palms on the knees and we'll do a couple of cat-cows, seated cat-cows. So inhale, sending the chest forward, lifting the chin ever so slightly. We're not doing a back, we're not tilting the head back. We're just lifting the chin and the chest, sending it forward, creating a gentle arch in the back and the spine. With an inhale and then exhale, pushing the spine back, tucking the belly, tucking the chin, rolling the shoulders forward. A couple more. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, lift the chin, curve the spine forward. Exhale, curving the spine back, tucking the belly, rolling the shoulders forward, dropping the chin. A few more. And breathe into these as much or as little as you would like, but I highly recommend feeling into the breath, matching the breath. And back to neutral. Bring your palms together at your heart. Send them up towards the sky with as much room as you have. If you have a low ceiling, remember that you can always bend your elbows and you can bring your palms together, send your arms up and then overhead, lifting your elbows. And you get that nice stretch here in the arms and the side body without having to fight with the ceiling, right? Twist your torso to one side for a spinal twist and drop your hands, opening them so that you place the front hand on the outside of the knee and the back hand just rests on the back of your chair or on your bed or your bench, wherever it falls. Breathe into this twist for 3 deep breaths. Gazing over the back shoulder. Inhale for the last one. Exhale. Gently release back to neutral. Palms together. Inhale the arms up. Turn the torso to the other side and gently exhale as you drop both hands. Front hand towards the front outside of the knee. Back hand on the back of your chair or bed or wherever it is available to you. And just breathe into the twist. We're not trying to overextend. Again, we're not trying to pop the back. We're warming the muscles. Hello, back muscles. One more deep inhale and exhale. And release back to neutral. Move into the hips with gentle hip tilts. So let's feel into the hips by tipping the hips back and forward. Back and forward. This is a very subtle movement, but it can help you feel into the muscles and joints of the hips. It alerts me now that I've got a kink in my sciatic that's probably going to, right, if I don't deal with it now, it's going to end up in pain later this afternoon. So let's give it some attention. Tip the hilts back, tip the hilts back and forth, tip the tilts. No, damn it, tip the hilt. God damn it! Blessed language. Tip the hips. Wow. Tilt the hips. Back to neutral. Bring your hands to interlace them underneath your right thigh. Inhale to lift your right thigh up to your chest. Squeeze it into your chest. And as you exhale, drop the knee down. Bring the ankle over the opposite knee. Flex the foot that is on top of your knee. So this is your right foot. Flex the right foot. Put the ankle over your thigh or your heel over your thigh, wherever is available. Let this right knee gently drop open. Now I've got a lot of, see, I can feel that, right? That low back into the knee. This, flexing this foot is really important because it helps protect the knee joint. It helps flex the muscles around and the tendons to protect the knee joint. If you don't do this, the likelihood of tipping the knee in the wrong way is much higher. So please make sure you flex your right foot and just let your knee fall on its own. You can rest your palms open or down or place them on your hips or on your chair, or you can go ahead and support that knee if it feels like too much. Pull it back a little bit and let the hip open up. We're not trying to alter the knee joint, trying to open the back hip, the low back. Good morning, Josh. Take a couple of breaths here. Make minor adjustments so that you can feel this stretch in your low back, the right low back. Top of your right hip is where you should be feeling this. Into that right hip joint. Opening up. You might feel it in your thigh as well, in the right thigh. Just go as deep as you feel comfortable without overextending. A couple more breaths here. Release your knee if you're holding on to it for just a second. And go ahead and interlace your fingers back underneath your right thigh. Inhale, pulling it up to your chest, releasing the flex in the foot. Exhale, go ahead and bring that knee back down to the floor. That foot back down to the floor. Come back to neutral and we'll do the left side. Interlace your hands underneath your left thigh. Inhale, pulling the left knee all the way up to the chest. And exhale, crossing that left ankle over the right knee, flexing the left foot. Before you drop that knee, flex the left foot. And let your left knee fall open to whatever degree. I don't even want you putting pressure on this, okay? Let your hip open as much as is available and then just breathe into this space. See, I almost put pressure there. There's no need to push yourself. Honor where you are in this moment and let the breath and body do what it needs to do to clear the space. Sometimes in trying to heal ourselves too quickly, we end up hurting ourselves. In pushing ourselves too far, we end up hurting ourselves. It's not a race, it's not a competition. It is a practice of being with yourself. A couple more breaths into that left lower hip, into the left hip joint. Go ahead and interlace your fingers back underneath your left thigh. Inhale, releasing the ankle, pulling the knee up to the chest. And exhale, bringing the foot back down to the floor. Twist your hips, give your hips a little twist by bringing your knees in and out, kind of moving them in this right hip back, pulling the right knee in, and then switch left hip back, pulling the left knee in. Kind of just pushing the leg into the joint, so to speak, to tilt the hips. A little massage to the low back and to the joints, to the hip joints. Taking a moment before we move on to allow the body to settle in. We often forget to take these moments of rest between activity. Go ahead and tiptoe, heel toe your feet a little wider. For goddess pose, we're going to get a little deeper into the hips. Goddess pose, you want wide knees as much as available to you in your small space, whatever small space you have. whether it be your body or your actual physical space. You want your toes to be pointed out from the knees, so they're in line with the knees, pointed away from you. Bring the palms together at the heart. Send them up towards the sky. And as you exhale, bring the hands back down the center and lean forward. So you can lean forward supported. Put your hands on your knees and lean forward like so on your thighs or something. You know, thighs, knees, whatever works for you to support your upper body. You can place your hands on your hips and freely move your torso forward. You can put your hands here in prayer and lean forward. We are leaning forward just a bit, not too far, tilting at the hips until we can feel a little bit of a stretch in the muscles in the low back engaging there. Now go ahead and release your hands to the floor if it's available to you. If not, go ahead and stay in your forward stretch with your elbow support or what have you. But when you do so, I want you to put the focus on your hands, okay? Whether you're supporting yourself on your thighs or on the floor, I want you to put the support back in your hands and release the low back. Take a couple of breaths. Inhale, curve the back and slowly roll up. Now, if you've got the space for it, drop one knee. Right or left, just drop the knee, extending the leg. Allow the same side hand to slide down that leg as you reach up and over for a side bend in that direction. So if it's your right leg, then it's your right hand that's sliding down and your left that curves over, high plant, for a nice seated gait. A couple of breaths here. Breathing into the side body. Seeing if you can breathe into the side of the hip, the open side of the hip. Inhale back up. Come back to neutral. Bring your knee back up so you've got both legs bent, both knees at a 90-degree angle. Inhale. Exhale, extend the other leg for the other side of gate pose. Allow that hand to slide down the length of the leg, using your opposite hand to reach up and over for a nice side stretch. Josh, I'm just reading your comment now. To maintain calm when you would otherwise be upset is a superpower. Yes, my friend, it is. That is what we are in control of. We are in control of these things if we allow ourselves to be. Just like we are in control of how far we stretch, how deep we get into these stretches, if we pay attention, right? If I'm not paying attention, I can go real deep and overextend and flop over and put myself in awkward positions and do this shit. But am I really present with my body? Am I really present? Go ahead and bring both knees back up to the 90-degree angle, goddess pose. Am I really being present with where I'm at? Am I really being present with what I need? Am I really giving my body what I need? Am I really tending to my life in a way that cultivates the things that I want to cultivate? If I want to cultivate presence and peace within me, I need to be mindful of the things that cause me chaos and pull me off balance, pull me out of the present moment. Right? That's the whole point of these classes, is to explore the expansiveness of our inner cosmos so that we can become familiar with everything that goes on within. And when something unfamiliar arises, when something new or unexpected arises, then we have other things to compare and contrast it to and understand it through, rather than an emotion just coming and going and we go, wow, that was, the fuck was that? Where's that from? Was that me? That was me. I identify with it. It's not. Everything we experience in this lifetime is temporal. From your anger to the pain in your low back. Broken toes heal. Go ahead and take another deep breath in. We're going to tilt forward again. Exhale into the tilt. Finding, again, whatever works for you. Tilting forward without support first. Getting to a place where you can feel that bit of a stretch or tension in your low back. And then support yourself where you're at. Drop your elbows to your knees. Put your fists or hands on the floor. And release the low back. Release the muscles in the back. Take a deep breath in, filling the back body with breath. And exhale, curving the spine and letting your head hang. However far down you can go is great. Let yourself hang. Feeling that release in the spine and in the shoulders and the neck. Keep those thigh muscles strong, feet planted on the ground to support your body so it's not your back that's holding tension. Release, relax. Come up about halfway with an inhale. Lengthen the spine and exhale back down. Inhale, slowly walk yourself, rolling your spine back up, one vertebra at a time. Roll your shoulders back. Heel toe your feet back together. Or lift them over the dog if that's what's happening. Heel toe your feet back together. All the way back together. Touch the sides of your feet, your heels, your knees. Bring your feet, thighs completely together. And then tilt just your heels. Okay, you've got your knees, your thighs, your sides of your feet together. Lift the heels and tilt them out ever so slightly, just a little bit. So you kind of got like a pigeon toe sort of thing going on, right? Drop your heels back down. And let your knees and thighs adjust. Pause here for just a moment. Close your eyes. And I invite you to note the state of your being now after all of this movement. Give yourself a moment to pause and to just be with whatever's happening. Remember when you put all that attention into your feet when we first began? Bring your attention back to your feet. Do you notice anything different? Do you notice more of your foot? Is there more awareness now in that space? Bring your attention slowly up through your ankles, your lower leg, your knees, your thighs, your hips. Keep going all the way through your body. Checking in, noting the quality, the state of being of your inner cosmos, of your inner landscape. You may very well find that things are still stuck there, that some things still feel rigid. I invite you to focus your awareness instead on the things that feel more expansive, on the places where there's relief, on the places where there's a little more space, a little more softness, because what we water grows, and our awareness is a powerful, powerful tool. As we sit here, giving the body a scan, I invite you to bring one hand to place it over your chest and the other hand placing it over your diaphragm, so your upper belly, right about your stomach area, okay? Take a deep breath in and feel the way that it fills your chest and belly. Inhale, allowing your chest to rise and then your belly to expand. And let the belly fall on the exhale, and the chest, the heart fall on the exhale. Follow this pattern for several breaths, focusing entirely on the breath, expanding the chest, then the belly contracting, and then the chest contracting again and again and again. Take your time here. There is no rush. There is nothing else in this moment but you and the breath. The rise and fall of your belly, the rise and fall of your chest. Not just your chest, but the full expansion of your rib cage. In the same way that we breathe, expanding our rib cage, front, sides, and back, I invite you to pull the breath all the way into the belly and try to expand the belly, front, sides, and back. Take a few more breaths in this manner. Last breath. Go ahead and release the hands, and again, scan the body and check in. Note the quality of your state of being. Note the quality of your breath, your heartbeat, your hips, your knees. Notice the quality of your ears. How do your ears feel after our little session here? Now to close, we will sit with our mudra for the week. So go ahead and flutter your eyes open. You can release the feet, the position of the feet if you'd like to. If it feels more comfortable, go ahead and give your ankles and feet a little bit of a wiggle. So the mudra for the week is the Mahatrika mudra, and this is the mudra that deals with the entire pelvic area. This is a really powerful mudra. This is one of those mudras that's funny. This is why I say do your research on mudras, right? If you go search on Google right now, what you're going to find, hey, Jay, how are you, Chop? Sorry, I can't see from here. If you go search Google, what you're going to see is that this is the mudra for constipation. And yes, it totally works on constipation. But imagine that, take that concept and expand it, okay? Beyond just constipation. This clears out any kind of physical, emotional, karmic, energetic karma. There are these things that are in Sanskrit called runanabandha. And it's this idea, it's this concept, it's a way of describing the things that we acquire by interacting with the physical world. Anytime I interact with things in the physical world, I am interacting with the energy of that thing. I inherit energies and things from my family lineage. I acquire them through my lifetime of experience. And where do these things settle? But down in the hips. Why? Because this is our pelvic floor. This is our release. This is our, this is the plumbing. This is where everything's supposed to be eliminated, right? So these karmic, energetic, emotional things, we often refer to them as stones, drop down into the pelvic floor. And so many of us, most of us, I would even say, I don't use absolutes, but I would say even most of us, have quite a collection of stones sitting in our pelvic floor. So the Mahatrika mudra assists in clearing those. Just an FYI, it also helps with things like hemorrhoids, tumors, urinary tract, lower digestive issues, SA trauma, and the like. So The Mahatrika Mudra is done like so. You need both hands for this one. Bring your thumb and your ring finger to touch, no more than the weight of a nickel. If you cannot touch them together, that's okay. Set the intention by bringing the fingers as close as you can. And then once you've got that connection, bring the tips of both hands together. So you've got your little shadow dogs, right? Your ring finger and your thumb shadow dogs. Bring the tips together, bring your shadow dogs to kiss. And then bring the pinkies to touch. Yes, that means your ring finger is going to bend a little bit. That's okay. Bring the ring fingers to touch, or the pinky fingers to touch, excuse me. Keep your pointer and your middle extended. Hold on. We can come in a little bit for this one. Okay, we'll do that again. Okay. Thumb to ring finger. Make your little shadow dogs. Bring the shadow dogs to kiss. Bring your pinkies to touch. Okay, let those ring fingers bend. Keep your pointer and middle extended. Creates a kind of pelvic shape, yeah? This is the Mahatrika Mudra. And this mudra gets just set in your lap. It's ideally put directly in front of the pubic bone. So if you have a little space to spread your knees open and place it here, you can do that. If you feel more comfortable keeping your knees together and placing it in your lap, that works as well. Again, these practices are so much about your intention and your attention. So we will sit with this mudra for 5 minutes. And during that 5 minutes, I ask you to bring your attention back to this mudra again and again and again. I don't care what your brain says, unless there's an emergency. Obviously, if there's an emergency, stop your practice and deal with your emergency. You can always come back to your practice. But barring an actual emergency, I want you to give all of your attention, all of your awareness to this mudra. You can do that by choosing a single point on the mudra. I like the point where the pinkies touch. I really like the point where the pinkies touch. I rest the mudra in my lap, keeping the other fingers extended. Remember, you use, first of all, no more than the weight of a nickel on any of these connections. These are very gentle connections because just like an electrical circuit, you do not need to create pressure between the 2 points. You just barely make a connection and the current flows. That's what we're doing here. We're redirecting the energy channels in the body. So no more than the weight of a nickel. And you keep your mudra extended with intention, not tension. I'm not trying to extend my fingers. I'm not pushing them up and open like this, right? This hurts my hand. I can feel it. Too much. Relax. No more than the weight of a nickel. Holding the other fingers extended, holding your mudra in form with nothing more than your intention. And your intention right now can simply be to experience this mudra. Your intention could be to receive the benefits of this mudra. Maybe you have a specific intention. Maybe you're like, man, I could really use some help with these hemorrhoids. So you focus that intention on the Mahatrika Mudra, offering you a relief from those. Offering you a relief from constipation. Offering you a relief from SA trauma. Offering you a relief from the inherited karmic things that we bring from generation to generation. Offering you a relief from whatever it is that is stored in your pelvic floor that is weighing you down. Our pelvic floor, our root chakra, is our connection to the earth. It is our grounding. It is our feelings, most basic feelings of security and safety in the world. So if you deal with any kind of like insecurity as far as like grounding or feeling unsafe or feeling like you don't have a right to exist or feeling like you don't belong in the world, these are often Rinanabandhas. These are often things that are stored in the pelvic floor that block our ability to fully connect with the earth and with ourselves, to exchange energy from between Gaia and us. So this mudra helps a ton. If you're holding this mudra, you may already feel movement in your hips. So we're going to sit with intention for 5 minutes, okay? When I say Bring your attention to this mudra. I don't care how busy your mind is. I don't care what your to-do list says. I don't care how frantic your monkeys get when you ask them to be quiet. All you're doing here is bringing your attention back again and again and again to the mudra. Pick a point or imagine the whole mudra. My point is the point where the pinkies touch. I'm going to rest my mudra here, and I'm going to close my eyes, allowing my breath to simply fall into a natural rhythm. And I'm going to rest my awareness as if it's a light, as if it's a flashlight, or focusing on that one point that I have chosen in the mudra. When my mind monkeys run off, I can even say to myself, I can even repeat my intention to be present with this mudra. I can say to myself, I am present with this mudra. And I return that flashlight of attention, that spotlight of attention back to the point, my anchor. My mind monkeys run off again. I am experiencing this mudra. And I realign my anchor. I realign my spotlight to my anchor. This is the practice. 5 minutes, keep breathing, be gentle and loving and compassionate with yourself. Repeat your intention with patience and love. I am releasing SA trauma. I am clearing out anything that is stuck and rigid. Whatever your intention is, hold it in your mind. Focus your awareness on a single point on the mudra. And anytime your mind gets busy, repeat your intention and come back to your focal point. Keep breathing. Sometimes as we sit, we may notice tension building. Other places in the body, in the neck, in the back. It's okay to adjust slightly to release that tension and then bring your awareness back to your anchor and to your intention. Releasing all tension in the breath, in the body, and in the being. When we do that, when we release tension, we allow these currents to flow freely through us. If you want to feel the effects, viscerally actually feel the effects of the mudra moving through you, release tension. Release all the tension in the mind, in the body, and in the breath. It is not a place to arrive. It is not something we do and then suddenly don't have to do anymore. It is something we do again and again and again, releasing tension in the body, in the breath, in the being. Creating space for the mudra to flow through us, for the energy channels to open and clear. Take a big deep breath in, filling your chest cavity with breath. Exhale. Deep breath in, filling the chest and the belly with breath. Exhale. This time, inhaling, filling the chest, belly, and hips with the breath. Your entire torso full of breath. Hold. Inhale a little more, and release. Go ahead and release the mudra. Keep your eyes closed for a minute. Now again, notice the quality of your breath. Notice the quality of your mind. Notice the quality of your whole being in this moment. And focus that spotlight of attention on the places where you feel more space, where you feel more peace. Notice the softer edges of the mind and of the thoughts and of the emotions. Notice your heartbeat, the quality of that constant rhythm inside of you. You may stay here as long as you'd like. You can grab the mudra again and stay with the practice. When you feel complete, I invite you to bring your hands together into prayer, or simply lay one over the other over your heart. Sorry, puppy. In gratitude for today's practice. In gratitude for this space. In gratitude for these tools. In gratitude for this body, for this heart, for this breath. In gratitude for this spark of divinity that lives within me, that resides within me. For this divine prana that flows through me. And offer yourself some gratitude for taking the time for self-care. I know it's not easy, but you are absolutely worth it. And I hope you keep making you a priority. And thanks so much for joining me for this practice. I love sharing this space with you. Thank you so much. When you're ready to come out completely, please do so slowly. Offer yourself some wiggles and some stretches. Gently opening your eyes only when you're really ready to come back. Upon a time once. Okay, let me check. So for those of you who are looking for a chat, we do have a chat on YouTube, and we also have a chat in Discord. We are moving everything and anything pretty much over to our Discord page. If you haven't joined us on the Discord, please do so. For those of you who don't know me and you're just rolling in like, hey, what's happening in here? Hi, my name is Reverend Deborah. I am a movement facilitator, movement in breath, body, and being, and I'm your shenanigan shaman. And this is our tiny yoga class. A 30-minute gentle flow for everybody in every space. All of my replays for these classes are on YouTube. If you follow me on YouTube, I'm at Move With Change. I'm at Move With Change on pretty much all the channels. But almost all the content goes to YouTube. Go follow me over there. When all the other places shut down, things are still going on YouTube. But if you want to get into the real meat and bones of the things that I teach, you know, I have 4 times a week free classes, right? But we get a lot deeper in our community on Discord. It's called the CAYA community. CAYA stands for Come As You Are, because there's a lot of places that you can go in the world where you have to show up a certain way, where there are expectations for how you're going to show up and how you're going to be that day, expectations for you to compartmentalize who you really are and what you really need. This is not that space. The only thing we ask is that you show up with curiosity and willingness. You can be pissed the fuck off and still show up with curiosity and willingness. Because there is a gift in seeing each other for where we're really at. And there's a gift in expressing your authenticity. And when we combine those things, it's a fucking superpower. Because then we really connect with each other. Then we have, and only then, we have the opportunity to see the world from another person's perspective. The only way to do that is through each other. The only way for me to see the world in anything different than from my own lens is for me to suspend my judgment, my bias, just long enough to try to stand in your shoes, to listen to the detail and accept that your reality is just as valid as mine, even if it's completely different. It's a skill we've lost, and yet a skill we desperately need. We are not isolated creatures. We do not survive. We do not thrive on our own. We may survive on our own. Yeah, you can go out in the woods and live all by yourself for your whole life, most of your life. But you won't thrive on your own, and that's by nature of being human. We are all particles of God, part of the whole, drops in the ocean. It is imperative for us to see each other, for us to hold space for each other, recognize the divinity within each other, because if I don't see God in you, then I don't really see God in me either. If you don't see God in all, you won't see God at all. You know, I say it all the time. But it's not an easy concept to put into practice. And so I remind myself, God is even there in the hardest moments. When I was growing up, I grew up Catholic, and one of my favorite poems, I had a plaque over my bed that was Footsteps, the poem about, walking in the sand and walking with God. And I looked back upon my life and I saw 2 sets of footprints, except in those moments where life got the most difficult. And he turned to God and he said, "How come in my most difficult moments you left me? I was alone." And God replies, "My child, I was carrying you." Remember that. In those moments where the world forces you to lay down, when you get knocked way in the bottom of the well, that weightlessness, that heaviness, that feeling that you feel is the feeling of being carried by God. I hope at one point today you look in the mirror and you see the divinity within you. May you once today look in the mirror and open your heart in the same way that God opens its heart to you, with love and gratitude and awe at how amazing you are, at the miracle that you are. And if there's somebody in your life that you need to say, "I love you" to, as long as it won't put you in a bad situation, I invite you, I ask you, I beg you, from a personal place today, call them. I lost one of the most important people in my life. I found out yesterday that he died Wednesday morning. And I haven't spoken to him in years. And my biggest regret is not having one last phone call. It's horrible when these things happen that we have to feel that regret. Go call somebody you love. But before you do, go look in the mirror and offer yourself God's love, because it's right here in you. It's always in here, and it's always in here. Anytime you don't feel it is not because it's not with you. It is because we can't see it. It's because we close ourselves off to it. It's because we turn our attention away from it. And when life gets hard, it's really hard to find the light. When life gets dark, it's really hard to see the spark. I know. I promise you it's there. You are not alone. You never have been, and you never will be. And when we find that spark, when we finally searching our lives with that flashlight, searching, and searching, I promise you the light is there. And when you find it, do not let go. Do not look away. Keep your eyes focused. Keep your heart focused on the divinity within you. That is your lighthouse. It will guide you home. I love you so much. If you would like to join us on the Discord, the link to join the Discord for free is on my Patreon page, patreon.com/moveachange, @moveachange. There's a link right there in the front, I think, to join the Discord for free. I do have various levels of membership. Thank you, friends. I do have multiple levels of membership, depending on how much deeper you want to get into your mindfulness practice. I offer group sessions, I offer private sessions, I offer weekly sessions, I offer lots of different things. All of that can be found on the Patreon page. And you can join the Discord for free, check it out, talk about this stuff, find out the free resources and hang out in the free stuff for a while. And then later, if you decide to upgrade, you can totally do that through the Discord too. Everyone is a monthly subscription, and I want you to be able to choose what works for you. So I made multiple levels because this isn't about dipping your toes in and leaving. Like I just said, when you find the spark of divinity, you keep your flashlight, you keep your eyes, your focus, your awareness focused on that, and that is how you find your way home. This is what we were doing in the CAYA community, collectively searching until we find that spark of divinity and following that spark of divinity wherever it leads you. It's not my judgment to say where it should or shouldn't lead you. That's yours. That's your journey. So if you're looking for a space to show up just as you are, especially if you're just getting on this path, especially if you don't have anybody else to talk to about this, especially if you're feeling lost or confused or like you're in the dark and alone, you're not. Come join us. And see the miraculous you reflected back at you. Come see what that feels like. Okay? If you have any questions, you can always email me at movewithchange.com. rev@movewithchange.com. You can also send me messages on any of the platforms. Send me messages on Patreon. Come join the Discord and talk to me too. If you want direct links, send me messages. I'll just send you a link to get into things. There's a lot of benefits to each tier, so check out those tiers, read through everything, make sure that you choose something sustainable, because self-work, this journey is not about popping in and for a one coaching session and being like, okay, I got it, and then coming back a year to try to talk to me about the same thing, right? Like, if you're on this path, if you want to do this work, make that commitment to yourself. Make that commitment to show up. I don't care if it's for 5 minutes a day. Making that commitment, even just for 5 minutes, is the foundation for building trust with yourself. And if you're going to make your way home, you got to trust yourself. I love you all so much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Friday. It might be the kind of day where we need a dance party, so if you want to come join us for a public dance party over in the Discord, come join, come get that free link and join. Go call somebody you love. Go love on yourself. And I'll see you tomorrow morning for Bhakti Bites, okay? Or tonight in a dance party. All right. Now I've got dogs everywhere. Hold on, let me see if I can get to the to the things to say goodbye. Again, if you missed the meditation, or not meditation, yeah, the meditation, but the tiny yoga class today, the replay is on YouTube. Please go follow me on YouTube. Even if you already were in class, please go follow me on YouTube. I'm trying to cultivate that channel. I would really love your support over there. It's free to follow me, and it makes all the difference to me. So, thank you guys, and I'm out. Gotta shut down the channel.